Hello, everybody. Today, October the 17th, and we continue with our pen story. Yesterday, I actually just learned that I learned my body. He got up very early in the morning around 4:10 to start his meditation for an hour a day. And actually, I really admire him because I can see his progress. When we first talked to each other, he started meditate. And I think it's about 10, 15 minutes, and now he go up to an hour of meditation a day. And that is really something really applicable, admirable, I believe. I see a progression as people come in and they grow in, and it's just something that I really, really admire him for. And I feel very blessed to be able to have, to be surrounded by, wonderful people like him. So congratulations, Anne. And let's get started, okay? Just talking about that, I'm very grateful for, for the journey of telling the page story, helping me to know several great people. No, not several, like I learned, but helping me to know and learn, and then I can learn so much from him. So let's get started. What is this? It's a pen. What do we use a pen for? To write. Now there's a dog inside the room. I'm gonna read this in front of the dog. What does the dog do? The dog probably reasonably got you this right. Does the dog see this one as a pen? No. So for the dog, this one is not a pen, but for the human, this one is a pen. So who is correct, the dog or the human? The answer is both are correct. For the dog, this one is a chewing toy, but for the human, this one is a pen to write. The dog is correct in the dog world, the human is also correct in the human world. So that is our first lesson. Both are correct. Now, let's imagine that there is a table in front of me, so I'm going to put this thing on the table. And then both the dog and I will walk out the room. So inside the room, there'll be no human, no dog. What does this thing become? It is still a pen or chewing toy. Oh, it becomes almost nothing, and the answer we still call this one as the emptiness. The emptiness is actually a very magical definition. As we understand the emptiness, we'll be able to achieve anything in our life. Just like issue Michael Roach applied the emptiness into his business and was able to build a business with revenue of $250 million a year. He is also able to help several refugees. So what is the emptiness? Why is that so magical? So we're gonna go back to the page story, okay? So this thing is currently on the table. When there is no human, no doubt it come back to true self. We call it the emptiness. So the emptiness is not nothingness, it's not blackness, not whiteness, no feeling, no sadness, no happiness. It's just by itself when no one or nothing to interact with, just like us. We all have the emptiness. When we are by ourselves, we don't interact with anyone. So that's who we truly are, and that's what we call the emptiness. But then the reality is that we always interact with someone, right? Or something. So we always has the potential to become, anything or anyone depending on that, on who or that person, who or what is looking at that at the very moment, who. So just for instance, like this thing, okay? When I come back to the room and I look at this becomes a pen. When the dog comes back to the room and the dog look at this becomes a chewing toy. Now, both the dog and I will come back to the room. We both look at this. What does this become at this very moment? Oh, it becomes almost too thin. A pen for me and the chewing toy for the dog. So a single thing when there's no human, no dog, nothing to interact with, it come back to true sound. We call it the emptiness. But because it has the emptiness, also has the potential to become anything or anyone depending on who or what is looking at that at the very moment. So that is our second lesson. Along with the emptiness, we all have limitless potential. Now I see this as a pen. So does this pen coming from me or does this pen coming from the thing itself? This pen is actually coming from me. Why am I so certain? Because if this thing is the pen itself, then the dog or anything in this entire universe will have to see it for what it is, which is a pen. But does the dog see this one as a pen? No. So this pen is actually coming from me. This pen is actually coming from my mind. And everything is actually coming from our mind. So that is our fourth lesson. Everything is actually coming from our mind. Now we all agree that this pen is coming from my mind, right? So I'm going to change my mind. I'm going to believe this one become a diamond, okay? So please pray with me. diamond, diamond, diamond. Open my eyes, it's still a pen. So what in my mind that forced me to see this as a pen but not a diamond? There are seeds inside our mind that the ancient wisdom call as karma. When we see something, the seed inside our mind pop up, open up and cover this and made us see it for what had been planted only into our mind. So who planted those seeds into our mind then? Only you can plant the seed into your mind, and only I can plant the seed into my mind. How can we do it? We do it by three ways: by our word, by our actions, by our thoughts with other people. So for instance, I'm going to hold on to this. I'm going to say that I have the pen. Would you like to have this pen? And when my friend say yes, please, I'd be so happy to give this to my friend with the hope that I can help my friend. So when I do this, this pen will open up and both me and my friend will see it and it's strongly remark in my mind. Like a Buddhist leader, when I see this, I recognize this one as a pen, which means that the seed of the pen has already been planted into my mind. And I pop up, open up, and cover this and made it see it for what had been planted only into our mind. And this is how a pen become a pen or anything surround us become what and who they are to us. In the pen story, there are several meaningful lessons. Today we went over 4 different lessons. The first lesson being both are correct. So we learn to respect each other's opinion, we learn to respect each other's choices, and we learn to listen to each other with a compassionate heart. And what this is actually very, very as the world becomes flatter, and then we get to know each other more, so the diversity coming very is something really, really significant. And we knowing that both are correct, we learn to respect each other, we learn to respect and admire the differences between us. And I think in order for us to do that, we have to be able to listen to ourselves first. We have to be able to respect ourselves, to understand ourselves, to respect ourselves. Once we be able to do that, to cultivate that really meaningful, like a listening ability, understanding ability, as well respect other people. Ourselves, that is when we'll be able to do it to other people and share all the relationship around us. And that is also the key to happiness as well. The second lesson is, along with the emptiness, we all have limitless potential. So we learn to trust our potential, the potential of everyone or everything surrounds us, and we learn to move forward, to believe in that potential and move forward to the potential. And I think the linkage between lesson 1 and lesson 2 is that once you be able to, listen to yourself, to understand yourself, and to respect yourself as well as other people, that is when you be able to see the emptiness in everyone, when they are just by truly what they are, who they are, when they don't interact with anyone. And even that, we also know their weakness, their strength, and we be able to see the potential, who they can be, what they can do with different people, different things, just like ourselves. And that once we do that, that is when we be able to see that and to select and see the potential in everyone and believe in them. And what is the next step that we're going to do? That is lesson number 3. Everything is actually coming from the seed inside our mind. So when we see those potential, we have it in our mind. That is when we start going toward that direction, when we're going to make it the reality, the potential become the reality using our word to action, our thoughts to other people. That is what lesson number 3 is about. But then it's also one to remind us that, whenever that happened to us, there's a reason for it to happen, and we are the driving force of that result. So, if there's good thing, great, you did something great in the past. Now you get that. But if something unhappy or undesirable happening to you, okay, then take full responsibility for it and knowing that, okay, so there must be something I did in the past that actually making this happen to me. I might not fully understand it at that very moment. But once I know that I am the one, who caused all this, and I can also be the very person that will change everything, that is when you be able to take the full charge of your life, and take it back to the direction that you want it to be, no matter the situation, no matter how the current situation. And that is what lesson number 3 is about. And then taking all that into lesson number 4 is how we can incorporate those lessons so that we can create or manifest our dream life in a very certain way. So lesson number 2, help us know what we want in our life, our dream life. And then lesson number 3, we start planting those seeds into our life, right? Our mind, right? Using our word, our action, our thoughts to other people. So for instance, if you want to have a happiness, then you start planting the happiness seed using your word, your action, your thoughts to other people, helping other people to be happier. If you want to have prosperity, then you use your word, your action, your thought, helping other people surround you to be more prosperous. And just like that, whatever that you want, making sure that you use your word, your action, your thoughts to other people, helping them to get that. And then, once you're doing all that, okay, once you're doing all that, that is when you start, you planting those seeds into your mind, and you're gonna harvest what you plant, okay? That is the truth. That is the law of the nature of karma. But when karma happens, we don't know. So don't expect that, okay, I'm doing good deed today, I will definitely get the good deed tomorrow or the day after. It's not happening that way. So we know that we're gonna reap what we sow, but when we do it, we don't know. So just being certain that, okay, I'm doing good deed, I'm gonna get good deed. If I'm doing bad thing happen, or I have bad idea, bad thinking, then that bad thing gonna happen to me as well. So be responsible to that, and then expect, and then welcoming all things when it happening to you, and take full responsibility for it. So the lesson that I would like to share with you all today is actually, to be honest with you, as I share with you about Anlung, when I say that I really admire him, right? So I think we know each other about 2 years already, and then I can see his progress. It might be different, it might be difficult, but I can see the progress in him. And me, on the other hand, I also see that I'm getting lost in the trap of telling the pain story. But I think that is also a good insight for me to see so what happening? What is the difference between Anlung and I, the way we practice or anything like that, right? So I think the main difference is he persistently going and go to do it, no matter what, he's just doing it. And I think that's the difference. It's also another lesson for me to see the persistence, as well as to be more disciplined into my current practice and everything. So that's the lesson that I would like to share with you all today. Thank you everyone for listening to me today. Thank you, Anlu, for accompanying me in this 2000-day journey. And also thank you for giving just a great example for me, so I can, follow your example to be a better person, to practice better, to practice telling the pain story as well as other things better. And if by me telling you the pain story or sharing with you my lesson is something good, I would like to dedicate that to my church family, to my friends, to my co-workers, to my clients, to my neighbors, or to any living things in this world or any other world, with love, wisdom, and gratitude. Thank you so much. Have a great day. Bye bye, everyone.